I hope you're doing well. Oh my god, you slammed your oh, fucking might. What? No. Good morning? Feels wrong to say it now. I fucking hope your finger feels better. Fuck. Wraps might and bubble wrap and stuffs her in a corner. Like a poorly packed Amazon package. A Gaga link. No. Is there a new Gaga song? Oh my god. I missed it. Oh. Hell yes. Oh, Crispy. Happy travels. Be safe. Wash your hands. Don't let anyone cough on you. You know, the usual.
I'm going to fuck you with
Thank you, Trouble.
cock.
Go forth and be consensual in all the ways, because nothing in this world is sexier than pure sober consent, and I fucking appreciate you. That's 2 years, dude. Thank you very much. Good morning, Six. How are you, love? Please, everyone stop hurting themselves. Thanks. I know, right? I think it's our bodies are starting to reject the current state of reality. Honestly, I don't know. Probably in bed. Dude, this kills me. So last night I'm watching my dogs during movie night, and they are like this entire room is open and they're fighting over this one bed. Like Trick was curled up in it and Lilith was just sitting here upright staring at him for quite some time. So I dragged another dog bed out here, and they quite literally choose to lay on the carpet. I just don't even know what to do. There is no pleasing those little fuckers. I love them, but... Ooh, you got your new phone? How is it? Good morning, Molly. Good morning, Socrates. How are you, love? Hello, your royal classiness with the finest ass on Twitch. Bless you. I had a dermatology app and needed to have a biopsy taken from the bottom of my foot. I cannot... Oh my god. Did they core your foot? Oh, Kaylee, honey bean. This is a... What's happening? Fuck. What's happening? We are not doing well. Fuck. Stay, Mike. Don't. Thank you. I had the S23 Ultra, moved to the S25 that's not even out for another 3 days. Nice. I think I have the S23. It's a decent phone. The numbing... Oh, God. Yeah. Oh. Honey.
No.
I'm so sorry. The bottom of your foot is not where any of that should happen.
With Satan's cock.
Oh, Socrates. Fuck yeah. That's beautiful. I know, whatever the fuck that is, y'all keep that shit to yourselves. I do not consent to injuries. Knock on wood. I'm not gonna say it. Robo, thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving any swings for 59 fucking...
What? It's almost been 5 years. How? That's insane. Thank you. I fucking appreciate you.
3 needles, my soul left my body. Yeah, no shit. My, mom had to get, what is it? I think it's like a hydrocodone, what was it? She got some sort of shot in the middle of her foot for plantar fasciitis. Like, but oh my God. The way she explained, and my mom's a hardcore bitch. She doesn't cry. She doesn't show pain. And she said that's one of the worst things she's ever felt. And is it cortisol? It's whatever. They shoot a shot up in the middle of your foot for this. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it is. But shot in the middle of your foot. Is it cortisone? Is that what it is? Cortisone. Yeah, the cortisone shots can go fuck themselves. Yeah, I've heard those are absolutely horrific. I am a beverage goblin today, and I'm trying to organize where to put them so I don't knock them over. Good morning, Knives. How are you? Dude, thank you for literally the best movie night that's ever happened in the history of movie nights last night. Like, I don't say that lightly. You guys know. And if you don't, we have movie night every single night in the Discord. Everybody's welcome. We sit in silence. We have like a text channel that we meme at each other and shit like that. But other than that, we just watch movies. And I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you guys the full story because holy shit. So You guys know I'm a respiratory therapist. In order to maintain a respiratory therapist medical license, I have to constantly do this shit called continuing education credits that cost money, and you have to do, they're just ridiculous. And I have to do 30 hours of them, technically. And I did like 10 hours of this shit yesterday. Like, I woke up real early and just listened to lectures about high flow ventilation and subcutaneous CO2 monitoring and sleep studies and everything under the sun that has to do with respiratory therapy. And my brain was actually like, I'm so fucking tired today. My brain is so melted just from listening to the boring shit. The boring, like, and I had texted Knives about it, and I sent him a picture. This is my, I don't know if anybody else, you probably can't even see it. There's a lot of writing on there. Essentially, I have to go take all these tests. I have to pay for them. I have to take records of them, and then I have to submit them to this organization called the NRPC, and that validates that I get to keep my license. I don't fucking know. It's very confusing. Hold on. A couple of you have what happened? One of you did something. Jedediah, thank you for those biddies, and thank you for the hype train. Not a cult. So I sent a picture of that to Knives, and I was like, dude, my brain is literally falling out my asshole right now. Like, I can't, I have to take a break or something. And then I don't know if Knives planned this or if this was just the fates aligning. But last night's movie night is literally what my brain needed. I was overjoyed. Like, I can't even tell you. The movies that Knives so just happened to choose on the worst day of my week yesterday, or maybe, I don't know, ever. Dark Crystal and The Last Unicorn. Yeah, I'm a 36-year-old child, and those are my favorite movies. Sue me. It was so, just, my brain just, it was like an exhale. Like, my brain got to go like, yes, fuck. It was just...
I'm going to fuck you.
Ridiculous. CEUs are so tedious and boring. So fucking boring. And, like, it's such a double-edged sword, because, like, I'm sure we all agree here, every one of us wants a medical professional that is continuing their education, right? None of us want a nurse that did her last education class 50 years ago and is literally working off that 50-year class. Like, nobody wants that. I understand and I agree with the need for continuing education. It's the way they have us do it that is stupid. I'm not learning anything. This isn't proving I'm a good RT. It's just like mind-numbing bullshittery, and it literally makes me feel like my brain's rotting because it's just hours of these droning. It sounds like the teachers from Charlie Brown. Or Charlie Brown, yeah. Peanuts. Womp 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 womp. It's mind-numbing. I can't. It's horrible. I know. Well, Knives, to be fair, I talk about so much of this shit all the time, a lot. I would be shocked if a lot of you didn't know. I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of you knew what this meant. Like, for instance, restoring gas exchange capacity with intrapulmonary percussive ventilation, transcutaneous monitoring, routine and advanced pediatric sleep studies, ventilation and proactive respiratory care in PICU with transcutaneous. A lot of transcutaneous, I've noticed, is this year. Supporting key innovations in VLBW infants with transcutaneous CO2. It's a lot of fucking transcutaneous this year. I don't know. I didn't pick that on purpose. It's just that's what's out there. It's so boring. Like, I genuinely, you guys know, I've told this story before. T-Night! Thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving 36 months. I fucking appreciate you. Thank you. I actually worked in a sleep clinic for a little bit, and I couldn't do it. It was so fucking boring. Like, your job is literally to sit in silence and watch people sleep all night long. Holy crap. I was literally losing my fucking mind. And then, so yesterday, one of the CEU, like, courses I had to take was listening to a sleep lab tech talk about baby sleep lab subcutaneous. And I'm so sorry. It's just a personality type that works in sleep clinics. It's a sloth. Mwah, 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 mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Mwah, mwah, mwah. You don't have to fit it. Maybe it's true, though. I fit ICU, I guess. I'm a little chaotic. Yeah, transcutaneous through the skin. Yeah, we have multiple, I could go off on this. We have multiple ways of measuring how much CO2 your body is putting off, and that's actually really important when it comes to, like, the health of a baby and stuff like that. And one of the ways is transcutaneous, meaning in the skin, subcutaneous, under the skin. And then we have one we can actually put under your nose, and it like measures CO2 coming out of your nose. But that one's pretty shitty because if you have literally any congestion whatsoever, or if you're a mouth breather, it doesn't read. My brain is so RT right now. I really need to relax. Those are all words, right? Is it? I know it's, you guys see like this every day. It is weird to think that I am in, like, have a license to be in charge of human life, right? It's fucking weird to even, I'm weirded out by it, to be honest. A lot of the time I'm like, man, they gave that to me. Thank you for the hype train. I think I said that, but thank you. It's a lot of information. And like I've said it before, like when you go through medical training in school, the way that you learn is so intense and so rapid fire and so intense. I can't think of another word for it. It's so fucking intense that like you never drop that information. It's never gone. It's just up there forever. And all it takes is someone to trigger it. And you're like, flop. And now we're going to talk about transcutaneous shit. It's just dead. It's permanent. Oh, Socrates, bless you. You know what's funny? We actually don't do mouth to mouth anymore. See, this is how you set me off. My brain immediately wants to explain to you why. Do you even care? This is what my brain is like. Let's explain why we don't do mouth to mouth in extreme detail to a bunch of people who come here to play games and hang out and talk about butts and stuff. What the fuck?
No! No one cares, Katie!
Oh, you do? We don't do mouth to mouth anymore because 80% of cases where someone goes down, it's cardiac, it's not respiratory. So all of the risk involved with mouth to mouth is not worth it. And I could get very serious about this, but if you see someone go down and your first option is to put your mouth on their mouth, I'm going to punch you in the face.
With
Off!
cock.
We don't do that anymore. Thank you for summoning the class, keeping the classy alive, giving me a swing solid bowl. I fucking appreciate you. So basically, yeah, about 80% of cases where, and I'm going to use this term very loosely, someone goes down, i.e. their heart stops and you need to initiate a code. We do not initiate compressions or a code unless there is no pulse. That's it. If there's no pulse, that's when we do it. Other than that, if a person is talking to you, sitting up, you do not do compressions. You do not do mouth to mouth. You don't do any of that. You take them to the fucking hospital. But yeah, 80% of the time, it's cardiac. The reason you went down is heart-related. So the reason we don't do mouth-to-mouth anymore, many, many reasons, like I'm sure you can think of all the unsanitary reasons, like say you have a drowning victim and you go to do mouth-to-mouth and they've now puked a bunch of water into your mouth, like it's tons of reasons. But the main major reason we don't focus on mouth-to-mouth anymore, unless we're in a hospital setting with a bag mask, is that every moment you come off the chest to give breaths, that person starts to die. Like, it's compressions. Get on that chest. Someone goes down, what do? You point at someone, you call 911, and you lay on the chest. And you wait for paramedics to get there. You don't actually lay on the chest. Please, God, no. You do compressions. But that's why we really don't do it anymore. We have mouthpieces that protect us. Like medical, I have one in my medical kit. It has like a filter on it and everything to protect me if I see someone go down and I know absolutely it's a drowning case and it's going to be a respiratory issue. The only time that we risk mouth to mouth is with children, because children are much less likely to be having a cardiac event. So if a child goes down, it's much more likely to be respiratory because, like, unless they have a predisposed condition, why the fuck would they be going down cardiac wise? That's much more of an adult human thing. So we tend to do mouth to mouth there, but can I demonstrate how to perform a tracheostomy with a pen? It's how do I say this? Anybody could do a trach. Don't do a trach. Don't do a trach. You literally fish the trachea out like this. We do what's called a, oh God. Oh fuck. It's a maneuver where you basically grab your, the hyoid bone and shove it up and pull the trachea out, and then you just cut the trachea and shove a tube down in it. Don't do that. But it's, like, arguably one of the easiest things. I'd rather do that than intubate somebody. Is that so fucked up? It's just so much easier. It's so easy. Should we do compressions even if we don't know what we are doing? If there's no one there willing to do compressions and you've got the balls to try, do it. Worst case, the worst thing that could happen is you do inadequate compressions. The best case scenario, you break their ribs. Worst case scenario, you do nothing and they die. The point of compressions is to cause perfusion. Perfusion means getting blood to the extremities, right? Getting blood to the brain, getting blood to the organs and whatnot. So that is the main function of your heart, right? Lub, dub, blood moves. Lub, dub, blood gets out to our extremities, all of the outside. That's literally why it's a giant muscle, right? So when you code, when your heart stops and those little SA nodes, they stop firing and telling your heart to pump, there is no more perfusion and it takes a little under 5 minutes for brain death. So, and by brain death, I mean your brain will suffer an anoxic injury, an injury due to lack of oxygen, but we can still bring you back. And that is the scariest fucking thing known to man. Raise your hand if you want to come back a vegetable. Like, nobody wants that. So what I'm saying is, like, if you get on a chest, and even if you're a small person and you're doing your best, you're still going to be doing a little bit of perfusion that could prevent a worst case scenario anoxic injury. In the United States of America, we have a law that actually protects people. So, for instance, you guys have heard me talk about this. I have a medical license, therefore I am legally required by law to assess a situation if I am witnessing it and no one's on the scene. So if I see a car crash, I must pull over. I have the training. It's part of the Hippocratic Oath. Do no harm. I can't leave harm. Like that, I can get my license pulled from me forever, permanently, like forever, if anyone witnessed me walk away from something like that. But we have laws. So if you see someone down, you feel there is no pulse, and you start doing compressions on them, and they try to sue you, there is no case there. You can't do that in the US because you are attempting to save a life. Does that make sense? Good Samaritan laws, absolutely. Yes. Which is why I say, like, worst, like, best case scenario, you'll break ribs. Like, that's what we need to do when we do compressions. When you do compressions, I wish I had, like, a body. I'd love to have a body to simulate this on. But it's hand on hand, straight fucking arms, and where all the pressure is coming from is at the waist. Your elbows, it's none of this. That is not it. It's this. Your whole fucking torso. And you are laying on as hard as you fucking can, as fast as you fucking can. Everybody has a thing like, another one bites the dust. Like, you can sing a song if you want, but at the end of the day, if someone goes down, we just need perfusion to happen. Get perfusion happening immediately. Get that blood back to the brain, because it's seconds. And in a code situation or where someone goes down, I'm sure we've all been in some sort of circumstance where things get so chaotic and so scary all of the sudden that 5 minutes is 1 second, or 1 second feels like 5 minutes. Time starts to do that fucky thing when your brain gets stressed out. Lay on the chest. If someone wants to be pissed about it, just flick your hair and be like, well, you're alive. What did you want? You know? Will I be a carrot or a daikon? More like an overcooked carrot out of a roast pan. You know, like those real soft ones. I know, you guys, I'm seriously 10 hours of listening to this shit yesterday. My brain is just on hospital mode now. Hardcore. What goes on through a person's mind when they want to sue after getting saved from certain death? So a lot of people sue because they have tried to unalive themselves and they don't want to be alive. Where is my lighter? Oh, do I not have a lighter? Who is she? I gotta get a lighter. But on top of that, like, coding someone causes a lot of injury. A lot of injury. Like I said, I'm not being facetious. I don't fuck around when I talk about medical stuff. We actually crack all of your ribs to perform adequate perfusion. So in order to, when you're doing this, right, at the waist, into someone's chest, the research has shown that in order to get adequate perfusion, actually be touching the heart and get it to pump, we have to be able to push that sternum down at least about 2 to 4 centimeters into the chest, which is inevitable rib break. Like, your ribs are either going to pop out or they're going to break. That's inevitable. That's just going to happen with a code. A good code, that's what's going to happen. So a lot of people come out of that and they're like, they hurt me. They fucked me up. I'm never going to be, no one's ever the same after a code. You died. Like, I don't know how to explain that to anybody. You fucking died. Like, you're never going to be the same after a code. But people come out of it like that and they get pissed and yeah. There's been a lot. I need to find a lighter. Un moment. Got one. I know. I literally have so many drinks and no lighter. I have like 4 lighters and I really don't know what I've done with them. Like, where's my clipper? I did not, Robo. Oh, it's not all done. Absolutely not. It would be literally, it's impossible to do all in one day because it's 30 hours. It's nauseating. It's so many. What's it mean when you faint right after getting hit with a random wave of nausea out of nowhere? That could mean so many things. That happened to me at work last year, but I just assumed it was dehydration and being hungover. Absolutely. A hangover is actually literally defined by extreme dehydration. Like, the way alcohol works in your body, so you've got a cell, right? You probably know this. Please just tell me to shut the fuck up if I'm repeating myself. So say there's a cell. There's a very, very, very specific balance, intercellular fluid versus extracellular fluid, the fluid on the outside of the cell, and they're constantly trading electrolytes back and forth to maintain this perfect balance of chloride and potassium and sodium and all this shit, right? So what alcohol does is it causes your cells to dump all their electrolytes. Like, instantly, like, just dump into the extracellular fluid, and then you piss it all out. And then what happens is you try to drink a bunch of water, but because you have no electrolytes on board, you physically can't hold the water. So it's just going in and out. You're just peeing it out, which is why after you drink, you tend to crave really salty foods, or the day after, you really want a greasy, salty meal, because all that salt and that grease helps you hold hydration. It helps balance out that intracellular, extracellular, like, balance again. So it absolutely could be that, like, 100%, but that could be so many different. That could be. Cheers. I didn't lose it. No, it's here. We're fine. I put it right in front of me, man. Cheers. Exactly, Hatari. That's exactly it. Like, and it's sad because codes are really ugly, and so a lot of people don't, like, especially resident doctors and stuff, they don't have the comfort level to explain what a real code is to somebody. And not to bring us down, but the sheer amount of 80-plus-year-olds that I've had to code and liquefy because no one will explain to the family that, like, this is what a code is. An 80-year-old Nana's going to be a puddle of goo when we're done. Like, I don't know what to do. It's a really sad. On the flip side, you'll have a patient who's a DNR, but the family will try and push for the CPR to be done. When families change their mind in the middle of the moment, that is so rough. Always have your wishes clearly documented, severely. I've got multiple lighters in every room, and usually one in my pocket. Hubs likes to wander off with them. I do that. Like, I put them in my pockets, and then I wander off, and then leave them places. And sometimes it's a blessing. Like, sometimes it's, like, for instance, last night I took a bath after movie night, and I brought my bong in the bath and everything. I get in the bath, and I'm like, oh, I forgot a lighter. I had a lighter in the bathroom, because I just happened to leave one there. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse. And then sometimes it's like, they all just disappear at one time. And I'm like, what the I don't even have pockets. Where the fuck would they be? Nope. No idea. Drink Brondo. It's what the plants crave. What being a medical professional does to you, anytime I get sick now, what goes through my brain is, I just want homeostasis. Who thinks that? Same, all the time. I'm like, literally, I've woken up, you know when you just wake up kind of nauseous or kind of feeling shitty, and you're like, what happened to the homeostasis? How do I fix it? Like, what did I do? All I did was sleep last night. Fuck you, body. I realized the one beverage. Oh no, there it is. I was gonna say the one beverage of my beveraging I didn't bring out was my water, but I totally did. We're good. I'm a DNR and a donor. It's my time. It's my time. Harvest my organs. Hard same. And I highly encourage all of you to be organ donors if you can. Oh my fucking God. The miracles that come from organ donating. True. Like, that's where miracles are, is organ donation. It's not in codes and shit. It's in organ donation. That is some of the fact that we can use skin and eyes and literally almost every part of you is fucking miraculous. Please chop my body up and give it to people still alive. I got no use for it if I'm croaked. Like, I genuinely, like, would be pissed if someone saved all my pieces and just buried it in the floor. What? Absolutely not. Like, I'm lucky enough to have a pretty decent health. I'm very fortunate to have decent health. Like, please take what's useful when I go, if I go, when, you know? You need to get one of those little sketchy keycord things for a lighter so it always reels back to the same place. I have so many of those. That's actually not a bad idea. The problem is I have nowhere to clip one of those things. So I'd like clip it to my desk probably. A lighter leash, exactly. At 7 a.m. That's when I get up. I get up at 6:30, but I like mornings because they're quiet. I'm a donor and want to give my body to science when I'm done. Please figure out why my brain made me like this. Oh my God. Can I tell you guys a story? So you guys know the, oh God, what is her name? I just blanked on her name. The mortician on YouTube. She's like the something mortician or whatever. She's super educational, amazing. All about death enthusiasts alike. And I listened to Caitlin Daughtry. Thank you. I listened to one of her podcasts or shows the other night, and I'm trying to think how it started. But it went into that. It went into how the body farm started. Like, the man. Oh, I remember it. Oh my God. Okay, I can't look at chat because I won't remember. Okay, so I can't remember what year it was, but basically in the 1900s, I believe, this family had this like lovely antebellum house that they bought in the South somewhere, and it had a graveyard on site. And one morning they were like touring the property as the rich whites do or whatever. And they were going through the graveyard, and one of the graves, which just happened to be like a very notable general, I cannot remember which general, some Confederate soldier or whatever, was unearthed. Like, the whole grave was. And when they looked in it, they saw like a body sitting upright. So they were like, oh my God, someone tried to bury a body in this grave. Long story short, it was actually the general's body. Someone was trying to rob the grave, but the coffin was made out of like steel. And it was put underground, it was kept cool. So basically this body for like 100 years had been perfectly preserved in this coffin. And so the coroner man literally, like, he dated the body because the skin was on. The skin was still pink and everything. He dated the body as being killed within the last couple months, and it was literally like almost 100-year-old corpse, which is fucking wild, like the preservation level of that. But the embarrassment of his mistake led him to search for funding and start the body farm. Like, he's the man. That fuck up made him, like, he learned from his mistakes. He literally went on to create the education for people to learn from their mistakes. It was so fucking cool. If you guys want to listen to it, I'll put it on. We can listen to Gaga and then listen to Daughtry. It was a really interesting story. But the fact that like someone sucked it up and they're like, yeah, I fucked up. And you know what? I'm gonna set a plan and a course so other people don't fuck up like this. Learning from our mistakes? Who does that? Crazy. It was so fucking interesting though. So like, if you've ever heard of the body farm, there's many body farms now. But there was one original body farm, and essentially what the purpose of the body farm was to watch people rot and literally study the decay of people. And it's so fascinating because it led to so many other studies, like studying the bugs that infest a body and how it's how we can gauge when and how a body died based on how it's decomposing. Fascinating. Fucking fascinating. Like, if you guys remember, I told you I read that book. It's called Stiff. I can't remember the author, but I read a book called Stiff years ago, and each chapter is different ways bodies are dealt with after death. So like, if you're an organ donor, if you're this, if you're that, whatever. And one of them is, if you donate your body to science, your body could end up at the body farm. And it was all about how he studies the decay of bodies. Like, he literally just has property with hills of human bodies rotting at different rates. Fascinating. Fucking fascinating. But the fact that led to that. So unheard of. So unheard of. I thought the same. I was like, man, I'd love to visit the body farm. Like, I feel like I'd be a really good candidate to work somewhere like that, but the smells, I don't know if I could do it. I'm really smell sensitive, like stupid smell sensitive. I don't know if I could, which sucks. Zombies, literally. I had some rando at the DMV try to spout some conspiracy nonsense about how you'll be what? About how you'll be left to die if you're a donor so your organs can be sold. I promptly told them, the DMV lady, in a loud voice, I'd love to continue to be an organ donor. Dude was beside himself. I don't know where people get off on that shit. What? We'll just leave you to die. I hate to say it like this, but like, you're not that special. Sorry, like, no one is looking at you that you're not that special. What? Oh, they talk about that in the documentary and in the book Knives. Like, the body is exploding and stuff. It's pretty gnarly. It's pretty gnarly what can happen in different states of decay. I don't gag. I just get like, I want to, my instinct is to run. Like, there are some smells in this world. Like, I've told you guys about working in the hospital, like having to deal with patients with C. diff and shit like that. I'd have peppermint oil in my mask. I'd have cotton buds up my nose. And I'd be like, yep. Like, the short, and I'd still like just be in there, like, cold sweats start to break out. I just am so smell sensitive. I don't know what that is. I think the University of Tennessee has a body farm that's renowned for the scientific knowledge it's provided for forensic science. Is that the one I'm talking about, Young? Was that the first one? This guy made the first one, started the first body farm, which was cool. There are cases of mortuaries, funeral homes farming and selling organs in the black market. That was in CO recently that was caught and shut down. That, and then there was another one. I don't remember if it was in CO or not. But there was a funeral home where the man running it, bless his heart, like, no, like, he just had the too big of a heart. He would take anybody. And by that, I mean, there's a good portion of bodies that don't have ownership. There's no one there to pay for cremation or literally make decisions after you die. And in that case, a lot of those bodies are held in cold storage for years. Because we legally can't do anything with the body if we don't know what the directive was and we don't have any family or friends or anyone to tell us anything. And this man would take all of those bodies because he, like, it was so sad. He's the cutest little old man. He's like, I want to put them to rest. I really want to put these people to rest. Everybody deserves to be put to rest. But his cold storage got so overflowed with bodies that he then bought, like, he rented, like, a container, like a train container, and cold storaged it and started piling bodies in that. He had, like, I can't even remember, I think over 100 bodies for years just being shuffled around that he was just behind, I guess, or something. Like, it was pretty fucking gnarly what happened. I think there was some, like, mix-ups with cremation remains and stuff like that too. Like, it was sad. But there's so, like, you could look into it. I could go on all day about it. Like, the mortuary business itself is dirty. Like, it feels icky all the time. You're basically kind of, like, profiting off death a little bit. But there's also this crazy thing where there's a couple companies. One I know is based in China, and I can't remember where the other one's based. But they came in and they bought up, like, the vast majority of funeral homes in the U.S., but kept the family names on them. So they're actually they're like, you could be driving by the same family operated, you know, Kronsenberger's funeral home for 50 years, but I guarantee it hasn't been owned by the Kronsenbergs in the last 25. It's crazy. And it's just like this conglomerate banking off of death and turning it into like a sales thing. It's really sad. That's the problem when everyone thinks they're so special and no one is so special. We're all special, but you're not that special. Yeah, like, everybody's special, but not that special. My stepdad donated his body to science. They sent his ashes UPS in a cardboard box when they were done with him. I kind of love that. Pretty sure if there was illegal harvesting of organs, they wouldn't care about a little phrase on your license saying you're a donor. Dude didn't want to hear that, though. Yeah. I gag when I brush the back right upper side teeth when I'm brushing. I wonder if you have a nerve there. There's some of the reasons why I don't like how to handle the rituals for mourning and the industries around it. It's very complicated, right? Like one of the things I love to do when I travel is I love to tour graveyards, cemeteries. I very respectfully, I hope that goes without saying. I'm not like going in there and posing, doing an OF shoot or something with graves. I find them beautiful. Like I find, and I'm sure there's something psychologically like spiritual about seeing the other side of what I do. Like I'm the Reaper, if one will, the Valkyrie. I don't know. Like we end the life, but we don't really I don't really get to see what happens afterwards. And so getting to go to graveyards and stuff is kind of like a final. It's like completing the circle for me. Like, I don't know. I think they're very beautiful. I love to see how people remember their loved ones. I think it's a very beautiful thing. And traveling the world, like, it's kind of crass, but that's what my mom calls them berry patches. And so when we travel together, if we go to like Europe or something, we definitely look for like notable berry patches to go look at. But it's respect. My mom's an RT as well. And so we both kind of have the same level of respect around death and experience with it, I guess, if you will. And I love to, I don't know, I think it's beautiful, but on the same token, like I look at that and I know what some of those headstones cost. And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. That's a $5,000 headstone or whatever they've got on their grave. Like some of it is pretty fucking crazy. Raspberry cream or lime jello? Raspberry cream. Raspberry cream. I don't like fake lime though. I love limes. I love limes and lemon. Like I will just eat a lemon, but I don't like fake lime. There's something, it's got like a weird, like, that makes me kind of on the back of my tongue that I just don't like. My wife and I visited one in Paris on vacation. Fuck yes. It was really cool. Lots of mausoleums, bunch of cats that just lived there. Isn't it wonderful? It's so unique. Like we're all just people. We're all just going about our life. But for instance, you guys know I think it's still the like banner on my Twitter. Don't go there. Twitter's garbage. I'll put it somewhere else. But when I went to Prague, I got to go to a bone church, which is a very unique form of remembrance of the dead where they actually take the skull of your loved one and they decorate it, they paint on it, and they write beautiful words on it and whatever. And then they organize them very neatly in a bone church. And you have to pay every year to keep your family member's skull there. And there's like femurs and shit. There's so many bones. And it's very, very solemn. Like there's candles and it's still in use. Like to this day, it's not like it's definitely a historical site, but like people are absolutely, there are new skulls in there. It's pretty fucking wild. But like you'll never find anything like that in the US. I've never seen anything like that in the US. Seeing stuff like that culturally different is so unique to me, and that it's not gross to them. I think that's what I love is a lot of the US, and this is just speaking from personal experience working in medicine and whatnot, but people are very disconnected from, and rightfully so. Death is very scary. It's very visceral. It's the end. Like that's the end. So I get it. Like I get it. But people find bones and stuff very like that's the gross. Whereas, like, I like these cultures that are like, no, that's just the only piece of them that won't go away. That's how they view it. Like, no, that's what doesn't rot. That's the bones stay. Those are, so we get to remember our family no matter what. It's just different. I don't know. I love that stuff. I did that one with my mom. It was incredible. We did, like, is it Richmond or Alexandria? That's like notoriously haunted. I want to say it's Richmond. Ooh, I'm starting to forget. I love bones. I think the bones are beautiful. They are. And when they're like, just getting to see people's teeth and the way the skull is structured is so unique and so cool. What up, Genova? How are you, love? Ooh, Slurm, yes! Wait, I was told I was at risk of redundancy. By the afternoon, I discovered I was safe. I'm emotionally exhausted. That's too much, dude. But thank fuck for the good news. There's a beautiful crypt in Hollywood Cemetery with a hunched over angel, face in her hands, crying with the only words, I have gone to him, but he shall not return to me. Oh, that's haunting. Haunting. As I've gotten older, I've come to grips with getting over the gothic fascination with graveyards. Their trappings, the aesthetic. You can make anything aesthetically pleasing. It's how we sell the idea. It's pretty packaging of death, same as the coffin. Meanwhile, we dump the bodies with cancer chemicals that are not necessarily necessary and pollute the ground while price gouging the people My chat just doubled. Why did it do that? All the way. Yes. No, that's what I'm saying. It's a double-edged sword. Like, I love graveyards. I love to appreciate them. I think it's really beautiful. I think that people, like, remembering the dead is very beautiful. But on the flip side, like, it's absolutely a market. Like, it's a market, and that sucks. Oh, yeah. I love Victorian jewelry. It's so weird, but so cool. That's on my bucket list, is go to those Paris catacombs. I've heard they're very creepy, but I want to go. What about cultures where they dig up the corpses once a year and hang out? That is, yep, I've watched specials on those. Aren't there some where they literally never put the corpses in the ground, Ike? Correct me if I'm wrong. I watched a documentary about it where some people bury them and then bring them back and bury them and unbury them. And then some literally like clothe and bathe the corpse for years after they die. And they keep them at the dinner table and they bring them out and they carry this like body around with them for quite some time. I want to say there's a culture that you can actually date a dead person. Like, you can spiritually be dating a dead person. And I'm not making that up. Like, there was a dude who literally carried around a corpse in a backpack for years because that was his, like, girlfriend. But after death. Like, they weren't girlfriend, boyfriend before death, if that makes sense. I personally love the way New Orleans, like the New Orleans, I don't want to say all, but the New Orleans catacombs, like the way that this is my thing. Like, as much as I love graveyards and they're beautiful, they're such a weird waste of land. Like, such a weird waste of land. Like, think of all the people who don't have homes to sleep in. Like, they don't have a bed to go in at the end of the night. And think of all the land out there that we just, like, bury dead people in. It's kind of crazy, right? Fucking fucks me up. There are these, I can't remember what they're called, but they have these crazy tombs in New Orleans because of the floods and like the water level and the sea level and whatnot. You can't, if you just bury people in coffins, they will like resurface out of the mud and shit. It's really crazy. So they have these stone like mausoleum type things where they lay your body on a stone slab in there, and after a certain amount of time you decay and they just shove that body back and it falls down a chute into like an underground catacombs, and then they put a new body in there. And I'm like, fuck yeah. It lasts for like 100 years. Your family that remembers you gets to go back and visit you as many times as they want. And by the time that's over, they just like shovel you to the back. You go down a hole and they put in a new body and you're good to go. And then we're not like just building graveyards and graveyards and graveyards and graveyards and graveyards. It's like recycling. Ish. I want to see those graves real bad. Maybe that's what I watched, Serene. That sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure there's at least one where they keep the corpse underground, but what cultural group? I don't remember either. I cannot remember. I know it was an Asian country. I want to say, I cannot remember. It's been too long. Cremation's another one though, Rod. Like, I could go into it. I don't want to go into it, but cremation is too. The whole mortuary system is a scam. I mean, it's not a scam. Let's not put it that way. It's not a scam. It's capitalism. It's a business. It's a business. Straight up, the whole thing is a business, though. Like, if you look into the science of crematoriums and how much energy it takes to burn one body and how much pollution that puts into our air, it is no fucking better. No fucking better. Look for, what is it called? It's the natural decomposition death. We have it in Colorado, and I know Washington has it, and there's a couple other states that have it, but essentially they take your body, they put you in like a capsule bed in the wall with a bunch of like sticks and dirt and bugs and worms, just like from the fucking ground outside, put you in this capsule, but they maintain the the environment of the capsule perfect so that all of the bugs and bacteria break you down in less than a year. Like, I think it's literally like 3 or 4 months and you're dirt, all of you. It's amazing. And then they plant a tree in you and they give that tree to your family. Do that. If you're concerned. Like, if you genuinely actually want to give a fuck, that I think is the best case scenario. Water cremation's another one. Is it called water cremation? I watched a whole special on that one too, and I can't remember. It's basically they use ultrasound to break your body down into water. And then they do the same thing. It's basically like a really organic breakdown of your body very quickly and then put you into some sort of fertilizer. Aquamation, it's amazing. Like, those are the ways to go Genuinely, but cremation's beautiful. Like, you get to keep your dead loved one and whatever, but it is so terrible for the environment in general. It's horrible. But Knives promised me a pyre. Do you know how long it actually physically takes to burn a body on a pyre? Like, over a fucking week of feeding that pyre. Every time I see that in a movie, if I'm in the room, I'm like, do you know how long it fucking takes to burn a body? It is not an overnight, we wake up and mourn the ashes. It's like 7 days of adding fuel to this shit so it burns you. Do you really want us to waste 7 days adding fucking tree branches to your body? Stop that. The tree pod, is that the one I'm talking about where they do the organic breakdown of your body? There's only a few states that legalized it so far, but it's moving. I mean, it's a great program. There's nothing like wrong with it in any way, shape, or form. It's just, I was talking about this earlier, but like there's these huge corporations that bought up all the funeral parlors in the US for the most part and just kept the family names on them so people keep going to them and they don't think it's like owned by a giant corporation. Those giant corporations are lobbying hard against alternative death processes. Hard. Because if you get water broken down or turned into a tree, they don't make the $13K off of a fucking gold coffin. Yeah, I'd love to be a tree. Put me in a reserve somewhere. Please make me a tree. She's amazing. Kino, do you watch her channel? Caitlin Daughtry or Doherty. I don't know how to pronounce it. Daughtry or Doherty. Hold on. She is a Doherty. I think it's Doherty, right? Doty. Oh, it's Doty? Caitlin, does she say her name or am I just crazy? I watch her a lot. I don't know how I've blanked out her name for some reason. Yeah, fuck capitalism. She is a mortician herself, so she has a lot, like, I feel very akin to her. I think that's why I feel like we'd be good friends if we knew she doesn't know who I am from fucking Adam. So but like she has a very honest approach to death in her funeral home. She has a very not capitalism approach to it, and she talks about that a lot. She's very real. She invites people in, the family in for the embalming process, invites them to help. And I love that. I think that's really special. Like, I tried to do things like not obviously, like, do you want to pull the tube? But, like, come, stand with me. Like, there's nothing wrong with you sitting here and holding your family member's hand. Lay on top of them. Like, please do what you need to do to be with your family, and let's do this together. Like, this is not just a me thing. This is your life, And she's very, very that. Like, not, I don't know. I just love her. But this is her. I was going to show you her channel. Is it going to pick their normal stream? And then immediately after stream, Zach and I got sponsored to do a game together called Big Helmet Heroes. I think that's what it is. I forgot the name. So immediately after stream, we'll be going over there and playing Big Helmet Heroes. So I will be late to movie night. But that's it. It's some co-op game. I honestly know nothing about it. But that's something I forgot to mention that he just reminded me of because he came burst. Oh my God, they're both in their beds. It's happening. Amazing. It's happening. It's happening. I actually took a picture last night during movie night because I was laughing. Because I've always had this bed out here, and Trick was laying in it, and she was just standing up, like sitting upright, staring down at him for a long time, like minutes, just staring at him. Because there wasn't another bed. So then I brought out one of their other beds and brought it out here, and Trick stayed in one, and she just laid on the carpet next to the other bed. And I was like, are you fucking with me right now? Are you actually fucking with me right now? What the fuck is going on? Just tell me what you want. It's happening. He told everyone during drop. Oh, good. Okay, yeah. I stream during drop frames, so I never see it. I know. She's such a precious bean. But I gotta pee so fucking bad, so first break of the day, be right back. Stretch your dicks. Don't What the fuck is going on with my camera? Please excuse. It's hooked on. It's like, I don't know. They'll never perfect it. Every monitor is different. And now that I have a new monitor, I kind of have to figure out, like, where's the lip on the back to get the camera to hook onto it. That's clutch. That's okay. That's important. I honestly don't know what I'd do without movie night anymore. Like, it has become, we've been doing it almost for a full year now, every single night. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if at this point we'd seen at least, like, 400 movies. 2 movies a night for almost 365, not including all the anime we watch together. Like, I don't even know. It's pretty hardcore how many movies we've seen. Yeah, easy. I think it might be a lot more than that, actually. I wish I would have kept a record, but honestly, didn't even think about it. Like, I have no idea. We've watched so many fucking movies, though. It is truly chaotic, but amazing. So come to movie night. It's 7 p.m. Eastern every night if you guys want to hang out. We unpin them, Clutch, so that's so we don't have like a mess of pin messages. He pins the one from every night and then unpins the previous. So then it's easy. People just see the pin. They don't have to scroll through pins forever. So like for Halloween, I did that. I know. For Halloween, I did that. And essentially what I had to do is I literally had to filter by knives and glut and just scroll through every single message they ever sent for 30 days to figure out what we had watched for 30 days. It was fun. I had a good time. I had a really, really good time. I have to pee. I'll be right back. It was yesterday. I cleaned my floors in my underwear. It was 70 degrees yesterday. It was 70 up here. It was gorgeous. It was fucking balmy. And now it's 20 degrees. We dropped 50 degrees in a day. I just checked. I had to because I was like, is it me? Because I'm always cold. No, it's genuinely. It's fucking 20 degrees. Crazy. Yeah, it was so beautiful outside. Like, I was hanging out with the dogs all day. We cleaned the house with the doors open. I got to air out the house. It was so nice. It was 20. Yeah, that's what we have now. It was one very warm day. Very freaky warm day. It was so nice, though. Dropped out 50 degrees. The fuck? I only brought a hoodie. Yeah. Ew, I wore thin because I was not prepared. I have my heater, thank fuck. But Rod works in a freezing cold lab a lot of the time, so that's a hell. It's 10. Ooh. My room got like to 85 because I accidentally left my heater on overnight. Oh, I hate that. I don't have a heater in my bedroom. I actually am one of those freaks that has a fan blowing at my face. You probably get it because you're Georgia. I have a fucking fan or an air conditioner or something blowing in my bedroom at all times. It's the only thing that'll wake me up is if that dies or gets turned off. That's like, what's happening? Like my whole body goes on to alert, but I have a heated blanket if it's really cold. And if I forget to turn it off before I go to bed, I will wake up at like 4 in the morning like, oh, I'm dying. Ooh, I've got a small favor to ask you. Kaki has a pretty rough couple of days mentally due to her job. She drops by. Could you show her some love? Yes. I always love on Kaki, but yeah, I'll do extra love. Always. Kaki is one of my favorite people in the whole world. I hope she knows that. Fuck mental health days. Is it work being a bitch? I bet I know what'll make her feel better. And it starts with a C and ends with a penis. Anyways. Oh, where's this coming from? I wanted to see this Fantastic Four trailer. Hold on. Ish, but basically like a party boat on the Thames crashed into another one. Just like head on. I don't know. It was crazy. And one went down and like 50 people from ages 20 to 26 died. It was horrible. And that horrible incident is the reason that there's like the grab chains on the bridges and shit like that. Like it's the reason there's so much safety around the Thames. Like they added more of a shore, et cetera, et cetera. Because a lot of people died because there was just no way to get out. They just drowned trying to climb out of the Thames. Like it was terrible. But the reason she covered it was how they identified the bodies was fucking wild. long story short, they ended up chopping hands off of bodies, shipping those hands off to a forensics lab. That forensics lab processed them. And like some of the hands never got back. And so some people, like family that was like, I swear that was not my family member that got buried, paid to have them like taken out of their graves and checked. And we're like, okay, maybe that is my daughter, but also where the fuck are her hands? It was wild. Wild. She covers some pretty crazy stories. And a lot of it is like where fuck ups happen, where we can improve. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. I wouldn't doubt that she's on Nebula. I don't think, is she going to say anything about that? Or these are just all her patrons. I know she's on Patreon because just the topics she covers, and you just watched an entire video by her. Like, she's so gracious and gentle with the topic of death. She gets banned and demonetized constantly. Like, literally constantly. I think she completely lives off of her Patreon. That's the only way. She's also a mortician, still an active mortician. Her name is Caitlin Doty. I will give you her channel. She's great. Ask a Mortician. She's been around for years and years, and I've watched her because, again, I was talking about this earlier, but she's kind of like the flip side of what I used to do, and I like hearing that there's people who respect the dead and bodies and get the dog hair off of my nose. I'd say room of improvement was giving the hands back. I'm not kidding you, Knives. It went even worse. Like, I can't remember how or when, what, why, but basically the hands were found, like wrapped in a trash bag in some back closet by an assistant and then tossed by order of the mortician who did all of this. And nothing ever, like, this mortician went on to work like into his 80s and shit. Nothing ever came of any of this. Like, he was not reprimanded in any way, shape, or form. But literally, he instructed the hands to be thrown away before they were questioned because he didn't know why he had bags of hands. Uh-huh. Do you want to listen to it? Is it? Yeah, it's the Marchioness. I mean, seriously, it's so recent that there might be people here who knew people from the Marchioness. It's really fucking fascinating, though. Hold on. It's like Marchioness. I definitely spelled it wrong. It's Marchioness. Like a mâchoire. A mâchoire. A mâchoire. A mâchoire. Her stories are great. I'm so glad you guys are actually interested in this stuff because I love listening to her and talking about this stuff. It's fascinating. It is a terrible story, though. Like I said, over 50 people in their early 20s died. And it's a fuck. Like, she'll go over it. It is tragic, but I feel like she has such a graceful way of presenting the material. Amen, Clutch. Hydrate, everybody. Literally what happens, Viata. You're going to be very mad. Right? I'm so glad you like her. She's so educational. Cheers. Nope. In glass, that's a necklace somewhere. But yeah, it's real bizarre. It has to literally, like, it's really interesting. After I went to Germany, I was obsessed with them because I saw them and I was like, those are super weird and pretty, and I wanted to grow them. The seeds are so weird. You can, but you literally have to like freeze them and then plant them, or like they have to be in some environment where they're going to freeze. But it's just a kind of bizarre, like, I don't know, thick ass looking weird flower thing that's just awesome. And I think it's like the Austrian flair, right? Nice woolly white pubescence. Is that what they call it? Is that how they describe it? Is a white woolly pubescence? That's fun. There's actually 2 new Sachas if you guys want to watch them. We saw... I don't know which ones we saw. We've seen. That was a good day. Yeah, don't watch the shit I'm getting suggested now. What? No. Yeah, it's getting weird. The algorithm's slowly altering itself. Catherine Daughtry, Caitlin Daughtry, I'm a little high. That's definitely a channel you need to follow. You need to check out Lee McNasty, Brandon Rogers. Those are the things we checked out today. In about 2 hours in my Discord, there will be a movie night. I will be late to it because I am doing a sponsored stream with Zach down the hall in about an hour. So I have to GTFO. Ta-ta for now and take my poods outside. Like, go get some action. I don't know. Should we go have fun and do things together? Activities? Oh, you're here. Hello. This one's just the haunted soul. Look at that wiener butt, though. Are you such a happy girl? Yeah. Don't hump your brother. It's weird when you do that. You have to stop. Stop it. It's now I don't want to be affectionate with you after you're sexually strange like that. It makes everyone uncomfortable. It is. It's literally like a weird little, and it's so funny the more she wags it, because it's just this little, like, it's just her spine. I can feel her spine bones in it. Hi, Bill. How are you? Thank you. Are you ready to go outside and have some fun? Oh, please don't claw me. Look at these things, man. Talons. We gotta clip that. We gotta clip that, Bill. I know, you're gonna hate it, but you need it to happen. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today and just, like, disassociating watching funny videos. I genuinely needed to melt my brain because it fell out my ass yesterday. So, I appreciate you. So 2 hours is movie night, but in 1 hour, I will be over on twitch.tv/Ezekiel_III's channel playing... I already forgot. Helmet? I don't know. It's sponsored. Whatever. It's a sponsored cute game. I cannot remember. Helmet? Heroes? I don't remember. It's something. It'll be cute. I hope. I hope it's fun. I'll probably be sabotaged. Helmet buddies. Yeah, Helmet Crashers in 3D. Helmets from Hell. Hellenistic helmets. I don't... So I'll be late to movie night. That's the moral of the story, but I'll be there. Right? All right. Thank you for hanging out with us today, Bill. You're always welcome. You're just kind of... Yep. Okay. You're just kind of weird. You're a little weird. That's what we appreciate about you. Okay? Just a little off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a good poodle. Good poodle. Kid Chameleon had lots of helmets. Do you know about this game? This helmet game? Lord Helmet? May the Schwarz be... Did you just lick my chapstick? Are we stuck? Did you just lick it? Thank you. Please do. Vacuum my desk. I'm trying to... I don't know where my Twitch is. I'm going to raid into Zach's channel because that's where I'll be in an hour exactly after I take my dogs out and stuff. And then we're playing a cute game, and I really wish I could fucking remember the name of it. Helmet... something. I don't know. It'll be fun, I'm sure. Hilarity will ensue. The dogs will insist on being on me in some way, shape, or form because I won't be in our space. I'll be in someone else's space. We hate when mom's in someone else's space. We have to protect. But take your joy. Take care of yourselves. Drink water. Clean your fucking bong. I'll be here tomorrow. Same time. Same place. Faded Friday as usual in 3 to 4 days. Please save up your musics and stuff. That's... Weird short day. I always feel weird about weird short days. It feels like I'm like doing that awkward, like, bye. We're gonna see each other soon, but like, cause I'll be back and like, I'm not really leaving. I don't know. Come hang out with me somewhere else. Ya bitches!